Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I told you it was coming tonight. It's the bottom line, brought to you by Chances Logistics. Scrap Daddy up and down the road all day long, all night, making the freight move, baby. We're going to give you the recap of the weekend, elbows up style, big energy like you always wanted, and we bring it. And I'll be damned, we're always going to bring it because we're here for you. Our fans and supporters, our racers. Without you, it's not possible. So pull up in front of the old computer screen, telephone, eat your green beans at the dinner table. We're going to give you a little recap right now. Let me get back up here in the perch. Okay. Once again, brought to you by Chances Logistics, ladies and gentlemen, up and down the highway. Wow, we got a lot to go over. There it is. Fast Freddy dialing in. Make sure we got all of our components here working ready, you know what I mean? The flux capacitor, the fibrillator switch. Fred, we got hand signals, you know what I'm saying? Fred, you good? We're good. Freddie says we're good. Freddie says we're good. I hear you. I hear you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line. Now, first and foremost, I think we got to give some dubs where the dubs belong. Obviously, you know this is a late model country kind of Studio 02, right? Studio 02. But we got to give him sprint cards at 410. Driver Anthony Macri, the Concrete Kid. That's exactly right. We got to give that guy some dubs because he went out to the King's Roll and laid it down. Okay? He laid it down on another level, I believe for 200,000 smackers. Okay? And he did it in style, and he was crowned. He was crowned on the big stage, Big E. So, man, the guy cut his teeth at Pat Valley. A lot of his racing happened there early on in his life. The quarter mile we all love in Spring Run. Macri Concrete still plays an enormous effect in sponsorship at the Speedway there. They sponsor the 600 micros. That's exactly right. So, no, we're happy for him. I had the opportunity to have him on the pre-race zone when the 410s were up there several weeks ago on a Sunday for the big show. He's pleasant to talk to. He truly was. He truly was. Let's get down and dirty here. We're going to run it. Pat Valley, ULMS, UEMS, Zuver and Company in town. That's right. 5,000 smackaroonies on the line for the supers, 2,000 smackaroonies on the line for the mods. It's 305s as well in the house. Collectively, we call it Dr. Krause's Night of Power, okay? And it's Arch Night as well. It's a lot of nights going on. Unfortunately, the weather didn't want to have cooperation for the night going on, so it rained. And things got a little ahead of itself, so what they did, the decision to do was put the show over to Saturday and make it one big free love and peace party. You know what I'm saying? They opened it up for the modifieds. It wasn't sanctioned. Now anybody could run, okay? And it did. It brought 22 modifieds. It brought a lot of locals in, which had some good runs, and we'll talk about that. 305s moved to August 9th. They fell off the card. They kept the Thunder cars on, the 270s, the 600s, and the limited late models, man. I love it. I love it. Limited late models banked out 29 cars the other week. It was nuts. But they kept them on. Purses stayed the same, 5,000, 2,000, okay? Ziegler comes to town. Ziggy out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, in that familiar 25Z. He's the points leader. That's right. He's the points leader. He's fresh off the win of Batavia, New York, Genesee Speedway for 10,004 smackaroonies. So he's been pretty hot. We see the super late models go out, lay down fast time. He was Mason Ziegler, okay? Man, he's on a roll. He wins his heat race, okay? You see what we're building to here, guys. He wins the feature. He pockets the 5,000. Now, Montgomery, Monty, as I like to call him, or you may call him Flying Ryan, he runs second. Bam Bam, Brock Pinkers runs third in the 555. We see Scrub out of York, Pennsylvania in the 24. He runs fourth. We see Piper start on the outside pole with Ziegler. That's right, out of Mercersburg, PA, the Pied Piper in the 21P. JP3 Racing. He battles him pretty hard. He truly does. He races door up with him at times. He's right there on him. Ziegler even comments on it in Victory Lane. He was there, okay? They get in the lap traffic. They thread the needle, which happens up there real quick. Okay, 4 or 5 laps, you're racing through lap traffic. Caution comes out, resets the field. Ziegler's able to pace. No one really then pressures him per se. Most of your racing, I thought, went on from 3, 4, 5, 6 in around there. There was a lot of frickin' dicing and slicing. I can assure you that going on. But it was good. It was good. We see the mods. Mason Lobb, his first ever victory, okay, modifieds, happened at Path Valley. What a special night. Spike Moore runs second. You can't count out the 8W. Mitch Thomas runs third. We see Alyssa Collum in 55. She has a good run going. Unfortunately, she got taken, dumped somehow. Hell, I don't know, spun out, whatever. Wasn't good. I don't think it was her fault. But that's racing. We know that. I hated to see that. I wanted to have her have a good run. It was a hell of a stout, good field of cars there. Kirk Baker, he's won a couple there this year locally. He ran well. Then we get to our limited late models. Okay? We got some nice cars signed in there as well to do battle. We see Taylor Farling take the checkered flag. Now, last week, Farling ran third. That's right, he ran third last week. He wins this week. Snooky, or Juice Box, whatever you want to call him, in that familiar number 23. He runs second. He starts sixth. He pushes his way up through the field, makes a couple banner passes, and gets second. Gunnar Walls out of St. Thomas, Pennsylvania. Kid Smooth in the 85. Consistent, week in, week out. Car control, consistent. It's right there. I watch him. I don't care what you say. Watch his car control. He's within inches of the people. He's not touching them. He's racing them. I like it. I love it. We want some more of it, just like the country song. How about it, Fred?
You got it. He does do a good job.
He does. He does. He's right around there.
Yeah.
So he ends up finishing third. Now, for Farling, that's a pretty monumental victory. Obviously, given the situation of the crisis going on, which I think's blew over because now they're on to, what's his name, Bob Gardner from the Mars. I hear they're banning him from a Buc-ee's. Needless to say, they ought to spend more time, lots of times. How about looking at the state of racing? I thought about this today. I did. I truly did. I'm not saying there shouldn't be discipline for things, and I haven't spoke too freely about this. I haven't. I've been kind of keeping it all bubbled in because I have. But here's the deal. This is what I think. You can tell me go to hell if you want, but this is what I think. I believe in discipline. I believe in things shouldn't happen like that. That's right. That's right. But I also believe when efforts go into a lot of other things that I don't see happening as much as what I think we should see. There's a big wheel that keeps on turning in racing on the local level, and it has a lot of pieces on it. It does. Whether it's the racer, the promoter, the track, the concession workers, the fans, the manufacturers. It has a lot of pieces on the wheel. And I think those pieces all need discussed more and worked on collectively out of tracks. I truly do. So let's put effort on that. When they have this York, the Racerama, the York Racing Show, any of them, well, there needs to be workshops. And I heard there is, but they're unattended for the most part. There's not effort into them. And there should be. Because everything around us, my friends, is changing. Little League isn't as big anymore. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, everything. Everything is changing because times are changing. And you love the sport, everybody's going to have to come together and start working on them pieces one by one. Because without one, the other one don't work right, then the big wheel, it comes to a grind. Okay? I'm not saying racing's dead, flat. I'm not. But I think there needs to be a lot of tension on that. Okay? So I'm open always to dialogue and promoting that. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. That's the basis of that. I don't want to be right. Anyways, let's get back. There's my tirade on that, okay? Farling parks it. Kenny Yoder runs a strong fourth as well in the 34D, the Bob Dunn entry. Here we go, Trayton Lee. Trayton Lee says, I'm not going to go to Hagerstown. I'm going to bring her up to the bull ring. Brother, the General Lee, Kyle Lee, is going to run the supers. I'm going to run the crate. I'm pretty sure it's a crate car that Trayton's in. Almost positive. And I'm going to run with the limiteds. He does well in his heat race. He comes out. He finishes a respectable 6th at the bull ring. So good for him. Good for him. Yeah, I thought the race, all in all, for the ULMS and everything went well. It was a busy night. We had a lot of, obviously 6 features to run one Saturday night, but the stands were full. The back gate was full, obviously. And we see some good racing. I thought it went well. The track seemed to hold well. It did change. It got some character in it as the night went on. Even Ziegler had commented on that in Victory Lane. Port Royal. Let's move on to Port Royal. 410s, Justin Whittle. Okay, so he parks in a victory lane. 358's Aiden Hare. Derek Locke runs second. Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't know much about Aiden Hare. I wouldn't know him if I walked in the shop. Shame on me. But I can tell you right now, when you finish first ahead of Derek Locke, that's something to be said. Derek Locke, he's been around the block a few times. He races. He's good. He's good at M3. Anything he gets in with the wing, he's good. Okay? 305s, we've seen Doug Dotson laying down. Doug Dotson and the 305s laid it down. They would have been with us Friday night, but we moved it to their August 9th. They're going to come back, okay? I heard there was a little crash fest after the 305s. One of them, I'm going to, come get you. I'm curious to see how that plays out. I am. I'm curious to see how that plays out. We'll have to watch. We'll have to stand back and watch. Now, one thing, shame on me, is I got ahead of myself. Freddie got ahead of myself. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, that happens.
Yeah, I got ahead of myself, Freddie. Okay, I got to get back up here.
It's better than being behind.
You're right. I got to get back up here to Path Valley. Our Thunder cars, Sizzly's Auto Parts. Jackson Otzi parks it again. He's on a roll this year. I think his dad ran second. Okay, he's on a roll this year. 600s, Cameron Morrill. TA War 270s, Corey Myers. Corey Myers parks it there. Let's move to Winchester. That's right, the action track in Winchester, Virginia. It's the Junior Boone Memorial, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Super late model race. It is. We've seen Tyler Bear victorious. That's right, Tyler Bear. We've seen the Captain Cal Hardy run second. I knew it was going to be between one of the two, one of the three. Okay. We see JT Spence run third. Good run for JT. Okay. JT's back up on the wheel this year. I'm loving it. I do. I'm loving it. We've seen Alan Brannon. He wins the Pure Stocks. East Coast Legends, Freeze and Company, always bringing good car counts. Always, especially at Winchester, they bring good car counts. Alex McCollum's victorious. Logan Carbrawl runs second. The Iceman, Kelby Freeze, third. And we see Logan Jones. Logan Jones runs fourth. They finish out real well there. They had a good field of cars. Good deal for them. Okay? Takeaways. When we go back up for that Path Valley excitement at the Quarter Mile Bull Ring. Piper, hard battle for second for several laps with Ziegler. Tyler Hershey, fifth, and that's a limited late model with a 525 motor in it. Kyle Lee, the general, a top 10. DJ Myers from Worleystown, Pennsylvania, the iconic Worleystown Express, ladies and gentlemen, in that family-owned, family-built TRW race cars. That's right. 10th place in the super feature, okay? Some of the guys dipped over. Ranks dipped over. Hershey dipped over. Myers dipped over. Yoder dipped over. What I mean by that is they ran their limited late model respective feature, and then they ran the super feature as well with the ULMS. They paid the registration fee, the additional funds, and they were able to qualify. So I'd have done the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'd have done the same thing. If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the bottom line in Studio 02, brought to you by Chaz's Logistics. That's right, Chaz's Logistics. We're giving you the recap for the week. It was a good bit. I got to get a drink here, though. I'm running out. I tell you, whew, she ain't hot today, though. It's nice out. Hagerstown, the capital of dirt track racing, they say. Connicajig Avenue. Limited late models. Brian Booth. He's victorious. Justin Weaver. Good for Weaver. He's been looking for it. They've been having some woes here and there. He finally gets it where he needs to into second place. But how about this? In the crates. This guy's been on fire. It's David Kaiser. Bottom line, he started sixth. He parks it in victory lane at the Capitol. David Kaiser started sixth. Hell of a run. He must have drove up through. Listen, guys, nowadays cars that drive past 10th or 12th, it doesn't happen. Okay? It don't happen. Usually, if you're driving to victory lane from 5th or 6th, that's a lot to be proud of. I can tell you that. But those days have changed. So that's a lot goes into aero and car setup, obviously. And there's a lot of things going into that. Hell, we could talk for 4 hours on that. You know what I'm saying? It's a good field of cars on hand. We've seen the Rouseville Rocket down here. Tyler Horsey ran 7th in the crate. They had a full field. There. I know Booze, he's had some seconds, thirds, flipped. So, obviously, he's made his way to victory lane there in the B2 Bomber. Breeden was up in there, too, running well. Okay. Jimmy Jesmer The Triple J. How do we forget? He's in the 81. He led the race for quite a while. He falls back to 6th. He ends up coming up run behind Weaver for 3rd. So good for Triple J. I'm feeling that. Ceilings Grove, they had off. Now, they were off for the weekend. Lincoln, 410s. How about our man from Liverpool, PA, TJ Stutz in the 11? He parks it. Dylan Norris. Cameron Smith, 3rd. So Dylan Norris 2nd, Cameron Smith 3rd. Super Sportsman's, it was Russ Mitten, okay? Old Russ Mitten, he parks it in the Super Sportsman's. Jay Fantasy in the 222, okay? He was 2nd in them Super Sportsman's at Lincoln. Williams Grove, 410s. We see Troy Wagaman Jr. He's hot. He's been on a roll. He's winning some races. And they had a stout field. He didn't have no little field. It was pretty stout. LD, bringing her in 2nd. He continues to be consistent. He runs 2nd. Cody Hartlob 3rd. You've been seeing Hartlob's name around there more. You know, a lot. You got to remember, Stan. There's a lot of drivers out there that these they're not. How should I say it? They're not kids, okay? But they're a lot younger than me. But no, they're getting better and better and better and better, and they're getting more resources and funding, and it makes a huge difference. And I support that because you need it. That's what you need, okay? At the Grove, the 358 sprints, we've seen Dylan Norris win there. Derek Locke runs 2nd. Both of those guys had a great weekend. Dylan Norris runs 2nd into 410s, wins at the Grove in the 358s. Locke, he's a bridesmaid twice this week. But still, it was a good weekend. I'm sure he'll take it in that Dillinger's Auto Body number 77. Good for him. Bedford was off. They got fair prep week. They had a demo derby, I think. They had a demo derby. But no, they have fair prep coming up. It's going on. I'm sorry, it's going on. That's a big deal. That's like the gazillionth fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what the number is on it yet. But it's pretty stout. They've had a fair.
It's quite a few years. I went to them when I was a small child.
There you go. Fred just had to elaborate on that he went on them when he was a small child, in diapers. They had him in a stroller. He was sucking his thumb with a pacifier. They said, Fred, you're at the fair. And now, Fred, you can say it's been like 60-some years at least. You know.
Yeah, 66.
There you go. Fred knows it. You know Fred. Dog Holla. The Dog Pound. Woo, woo, woo. Like old Randy Jackson does it. You know what I'm saying? Super late model feature number 1, John Lee wins. Super late model feature number 2, the Uniontown Leadfoot, Michael Lake. Big Mike. He parks it. Now, where was Big Mike at Friday night? Half Valley, but they canceled it. So him and Montgomery, Flying Ryan, they drive the Dog Holla. They obviously didn't make the heats, but they let him tag the field. Last. Montgomery in the 1 feature runs up to 7th. That's pretty good. Okay? And then Lake wins one of them. And the John Lee, you watch John Lee. I got to talk to John Lee at Genesee up in New York with the LMS. He's a pretty cool guy. He runs pretty good in number 5. I've never personally got to talk to him until I went up there. I hear about him, but no, he's a pretty good guy in that Western PA front. He really is. You got to understand, there's a good bit of good racing goes on in that Western PA front. Hell, Saturday's Western PA, Indiana, Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot goes on out there. Crates, you ready for this one? 7 in a row. 7 in a row. 7 in a row. David Kaiser. What a weekend for him. 2 dubs. David Kaiser, ladies and gentlemen. 7th in a row at Dog Hall, at the Dog Pound. That's exactly right. So there were some places off, but most places ran. Weather loomed still some places on Saturday. Lincoln got a spurts of rain that was, Path Valley was, But I tell you, I think honestly we're in a deep spring, and I think it's moving out. It's going to get dry. I honestly do. I think it's going to get bone dry within the next week forward. So, anyways, having said that, let's get to who's hot. That's right, who's hot. Let's flip her over here. That's brought to you by Ashley Yoder Signs. That's right, quality decals, sign work, car lettering, wraps, you name it. She gets it done. Ashley Yoder, ladies and gentlemen, who's hot. Super late models, we're going to go with Ziegler. That's right, we're going to go with Ziegler. He's hot. Now, last week, when I did this, I went with Saturday because he swept the weekend. He swept like a grandmother's kitchen floor. 3 wins. But this, we're going to go with Ziegler because he continues to nail it down with super late models. 410s, well, I'm going to be honest with you. How can't you go with Macri? Seriously. He's representing the PA boys. He truly is on the big stage at Eldora. You got to give him dubs for that, baby. You know what I'm saying? He got crowned. That's great. And I know we hear all this about, here we go, about gravel. You know, whatever. You know, I'm so tired of reading about that stuff. It's a soap opera. It truly is. It's. I got to be honest. I talked to the guy at Lincoln doing a pit walkabout. It was a big waste of my time in my life. I should have just said, take care, buddy. Have a good one. Now, limited late models. Limited late models. Who's Hot by Ashley Yoder Designs. We're going to go with Taylor Farley. That's where we are. We're going to go with Taylor Farley. He ran third last week. He parked it this week in fashion. He was fast this week. He was fast. Honorable mention, we're going to give Gunnar Walls. We're going to give Gunnar Walls an honorable mention because I tell you, he's right around it. I'm telling you that right now. He's going to park it. He's right around it. Crates, how can we not go with Dave and Kaiser? Seriously, how can we not go with him? It's almost virtually impossible. Okay? He is hot, on fire right now in crates. Dog Hollow this weekend wins. He wins at Hagerstown. Fire! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I love it. Coming up, Bedford, Fair Week. This Friday, Gary March Memorial, super late model race. Should be a good one, okay? Should be good. Remember that Pied Piper in the 21P, Jacob Piper, he parked her on the band stage a few weeks back, okay? So he got a little momentum there. That's where he got his first super late model win a year and a half before that, okay? Path Valley, Trip Cone, and Dan Little Memorial. Wingless Sportsman's, limited late models again, and 600s. The Macri Concrete 600s, mind you. Meet Myth Path Valley Night. That's right. Meet Miss, that's a tongue twister. Meet Miss Path Valley Night is also this Saturday. You want to come out? The wonderful Jensen Dillman that sings the national anthem, does the 50-50s, Victory Lane. Yep, you come out and meet her. Sailings Grove, super late models, limited late models, USAC, East Coast, USAC. Let me get it right. Port Royal, they're off. Okay? They're off. World Outlaw Sprints, they'll be at BAPS on Wednesday. Okay? Williams Grove Thursday and Friday. So that's where they'll be. H-Town, the Capital, late model Sportsman's on again, Pure Stocks, four-wheel drive, and Crown Vics. That's what'll be on there. Okay? Winchester, limited late models, mods, $4,000, UMP mods there. They're honoring with a show. Mike Kirshner is going to talk more about that tomorrow night in his show. I'm going to let him do that. Okay? That's right. He has a good guest on there, and they're going to discuss that event. 305 Sprints also be on Winchester this weekend. YouTube. Get over to YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Elbows Up Dirt Productions. Hit the subscribe button. No charge. All the videos. Anything we do. Anything. It gets shipped over to YouTube, okay? Because after 30 days of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg says, we must delete that. So go over to YouTube. We got a huge show next Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. That's July 31st on Thursday at 8 o'clock. I ain't telling you who it is, but it's going to be a biggie. You're going to like it. I can assure you that. You're going to like it, love it. So you be prepared to tune in on that. Promo will be coming out this weekend for it. We're going to welcome a new sponsor this week. That's right. We're going to welcome a new sponsor to Elbows Up Dirt Productions this week. We're getting that finalized as we speak. We're also going to be releasing a sponsorship assistance program that I'm diligently working on. Probably here in the next 3-4 weeks, a month. And I'm not going to get great details into it now, but we're going to work as kind of brokers and try to acquire sponsorships and work on things like that for money for teams. We're covering a race this Wednesday, pit walkie style. I made the decision we did last night. And we're going down to Kutztown. That's exactly right. The action track. We're going to head down there Wednesday night. I'm looking forward to it. I hear it's a blast down there. They got speedsters down there. They got PO Micro Midget Speed Week 300s, 500s. Our local down here on the east side, downtown Rouserville, Hunter Smith, okay, he'll be competing there as well all week long in their Speed Week. Same with Todd Walls from Greencastle in the 500s. So we're going down, and we're going to walk it up. Back out on the road with ULMS and Zuver and Company in 2 weeks. That's right. We'll be going to Sailings Grove on Friday night, August 1st. Saturday, August 2nd, we'll be heading to Marion Center. And then it gets super busy and a little bit busier after that. But that's what we're all about. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to have a good week. I want you to get ready for another big, big week of racing coming up, weekend. Okay? Get out, support your local tracks. And remember, at the end of the day, it's Elbows Up style, big energy. That's the way you got to do it. That's the way we're going to continue to bring it to our fans. You have a good night. We'll see you Wednesday night live from the action track, Elbows Up style.
And all I gotta do is act nice.